Okay, looks like we have everyone that we were expecting. Okay, so this session will be for around 30 minutes. Don't worry about taking notes because as usual, we will be sending a copy of this recording afterwards. So all of our webinars will be completed within our cloud-based CRM. Whether you're already on this platform or on our older product version 6, this should still provide some insight into how the CRM can benefit your business. This software is accessed by your browser, meaning you can access the CRM on multiple devices, such as tablets and mobile phones. If you are on our version 6 CRM and would like to find out more about this cloud-based CRM, do get in touch with our customer services department. Feel free to ask questions throughout the webinar. If I can't cover all the questions, I will get back to you individually after the webinar has been completed. So for those who I haven't spoken to already, my name is Isabel Honor and I work as a Customer Success Manager here at ProspectSoft. One of my key responsibilities is to successfully onboard our new customers and those that are in the process of migrating to our cloud CRM. I also maintain and write all of the training resources on our Prospect Academy site. I would definitely recommend taking a look at this if you haven't already after the webinar. So as mentioned before, this session will be focusing on using the CRM for your customer services team. We'll be starting off by looking at how to some use case scenarios for when problem records could be used to assist the customer services team. We'll then be taking a look at how you can create and log customer queries using the CRM problem records. Next, we'll then take a look at problem pipelines and how to use these to help ensure the customer query is resolved. After logging a problem, it is also important to ensure that the problem is characterized using the type analysis matrix by recording useful information about the query, making subsequent reporting and analysis enhanced. To help manage this problem, we'll take a look at how to record your interactions, including creating and sending standard documents, ensuring all information is saved within the CRM. And then finally, we'll take a look at the current standard customer service reports available within the CRM. So let's first take a look at some use case scenarios of where problem records could come in handy. One scenario where problem records could help manage your customer service process is for customer returns. Sometimes you may find that customers need to return items because they've either unwanted or not what they expected or even damaged. It's important to record all conversations regarding this particular issue, which the problem record allows you to do. Furthermore, you may need to send out a replacement product to the customer, which can be done using the quoting functionality under a problem record. Another scenario, which I'm sure you don't have too many of, but it can happen, is customer complaints. These complaints could be because of unsatisfied with your customer service, because their goods are damaged or the goods have arrived late. Loads of different reasons, but having a formal complaints process can help ensure that these issues are raised within the team and are dealt with efficiently. Using the problem pipelines, we can help to ensure the complaint goes through the necessary steps within your business. Finally, another use case scenario where problem records could assist is for your accounts queries. You will find that customers may ask for a copy of their invoice, your accounts team may need to chase late payments, or a customer may query a price on an invoice received. All of these queries would be useful for the rest of the company to know about, so by recording this information on a problem record, all CRM users will then be able to see what's been going on. Before we get stuck into the demonstration, let's take a quick look at where a problem sits within the hierarchy. For those who are new to ProspectSoft, the CRM has a hierarchical structure, starting with the company at the very top. For example, you would have the Browns Group as the company, and underneath these, you would then have the divisions. These would be the branches, such as Browns of Sheffield and Browns of Oxford. Each of those would be a separate division. Underneath the divisions, you would then have the people who work at these branches. These are known as contacts within the CRM. There are two places where you can log a problem, either directly underneath a contact, or alternatively underneath the lead, so the sales opportunity that this particular issue relates to. For the demonstration, we will be just looking at creating a problem underneath a contact, but do know that you can still create problems underneath a lead as well. So problem pipelines, that is something that I will be touching on within the demonstration. So problem pipelines should depict your after sales processes using different statuses as the stages of your process. Please note that you can have multiple problem pipelines if you have more than one after sales process. A problem pipeline will include a series of statuses sequenced in a particular order that the customer service query should go through. For example, your first status may be acknowledgement sent, and the next could be in hand, then finally having either confirmed successful or unable to progress as your closing statuses within the pipeline. Another useful tool within the CRM for logging customer issues or queries is the type analysis matrix. This tool allows CRM users to quickly capture the issue being described by the customer, which is particularly helpful if your business deals with a high volume of calls. The type analysis matrix allows a user to position a customer issue by using a simple tree structure displayed within a drop-down list. By defining the issue using these drop-downs, you can enhance your reporting and analysis for your customer services teams. Now let's head into the CRM to take a look at the problem records in action. So here we have our favourite contact, Michelle Jury, who has an issue with her goods as they were damaged in transit. As a result, we're going to need to create a problem to start managing this issue. To create a problem, click on the Quick Add button in the top right-hand corner and choose the Problem option from the drop-down. This will then open the New Record screen where we can start detailing what Michelle's issue is. First off, we have the description. This should depict what Michelle's problem is. For example, this could be order 233 was damaged in transit. So straight away, if there was another CRM that looked at this issue, they know exactly what's going on with this particular problem. Next, we have the problem source. This is how Michelle notified us of this issue. So for this one, we might go for email. She may have dropped us an email to let us know the goods have been damaged. We can then start to characterize the issue using our problem analysis matrix. So clearly, this is a delivery issue. So we would obviously choose that as the problem type. Please note that you can type in these drop downs. If you have a rather long list, that can be particularly helpful. So for example, if I start typing in delivery, I can then choose the delivery problem from the drop down. By selecting the delivery problem type, we then get another drop down where we can further categorize this issue. In this case, we can select the type of product that had the delivery issue, but you could characterize your issue however you would like. These are all configurable options. So for here, I might say that the particular type of product that got damaged was the camera equipment. In addition, you have the analysis field, which is another drop-down list that can help you define the issue. In this particular example, we have used the analysis field to determine what action is needed. So for this issue, we may expect the replacement part will need to be sent out. So we'd select the replacement part. Next, we can choose the appropriate pipeline, which, as mentioned before, will determine your customer service process. You can have multiple pipelines in here for your different processes. So don't worry if you do have different ideas for how you'd like to use your problem records, because you can do them all as long as you just have different pipelines set up. For this particular one, we probably would like to use a damaged goods pipeline. So if I choose that, the status list will then be populated for us with the stages that the CRM user should go through in order to resolve this particular issue. The first status in the pipeline is the information requested, and then the closing status could be either unable to progress or confirmed successful. You can skip statuses if, for example, the CRM user has had all the information, then you may just want to go straight through to acknowledgement sent. You can also head back to previous statuses if needs be. But we're just going to start with the first status of information requested. Finally, you then have the summary field where you can give an overview of the current situation. Please note that this field could be changed by any CRM user, so any key and really important notes should be put into the notepad rather than in here, because somebody else could just come along and change that. So once you are happy with all your information entered, we can then click Create, and this will then go ahead and create our new problem record for Michelle. So now that we've created it, let's take a look at the other fields that are available on this record. First off, we have the customer reference. This field is useful if you've had an internal referencing system for your customers and may wish to record this reference on the ticket. There is also a supplier reference field where you can detail any reference that they may provide for you. For example, if this was a delivery issue, and you may get a reference number from the delivery company. So it's handy to have all of this information in one place. Next, we have the priority field. Within here, you can detail how big of an issue this particular problem is. 1 would be business critical, and then 10 would be an annoyance, but isn't such a priority to the customer, so we should deal with the business critical issues first. Setting priorities are particularly helpful if your customer services team work off pools of problems, so they know which ones to prioritize first. So for this one, it might be that Michelle needs that camera equipment because maybe they've got a security issue, so we probably would treat that as a pretty high issue, so maybe we'd put 2 in there. So if I just move you along to the at a glance section, first of all, it includes the recall button where we can set someone a task for this particular problem. We will come on to this in a minute. Below here, we then have how long the ticket has been open for, which is particularly useful to see on a problem record, as you may want to get this problem closed off as quickly as possible, given that it's causing an issue for the customer. So it's always useful just to see how long this has been active for. We then have the contact details, such as their location, just in case you need to send out another part, the email address, and then also their phone number as well. Okay, so now that we've taken a look at the additional fields on a problem record, let's take a look at how you can add notes to this record and set recalls. To add a note, simply click on the Add Your Reply here within the Activity section. This will then open a text box where we can type out our note. As mentioned before, it's crucial that you try to keep the notes updated as much as possible so everyone knows what's going on with this issue. This is also great for accountability, just in case the customer then says that you called, they called and you haven't done something. At least you can then see who took the call and what was discussed and what was agreed. For example, your note might be, took a call from Michelle and she needs a replacement part. So we can see from that call that we've discussed a replacement part and we do need to send that out and we have agreed to do so. You can also add rich text options if you would like, quite handy if you need to stress a point, such as bold, italics. You've also got different fonts and different font colours as well. But once you are happy with your note, you can then click the post button, and this will then be added to the activity section for everyone else to view, and it will say who added the note. If you have profile images set up as well, it will show your image against it, which makes it easier when you are looking through an activity to see who's been involved. So now that we've taken a look at how to add a note to this particular problem, let's see how you set a recall. To do so, click on the Next Action Due button within the At a Glance section. You'll notice before that the Next Action Due was saying that no further action has been set. That is because there hasn't been a recall yet on this particular problem record. By clicking the Recall button though, the recall pop-up will then open, where we can then select which user this recall is going to be for, whether it be for ourselves or maybe a colleague. You can also set the recall date for when this will be appearing in their to-do list. And you can also see how many recalls they have set for that particular date. So we can see that they haven't got any for that particular day. They do have 19 overdue recalls. So it might be that they are a bit swamped at the moment. So you might want to maybe set it for a week ahead if it can wait, or set it for somebody else. You'll then need to type out the actual task for them, so whether they need to give the person a call, whether they need to organise the actual replacement part, but you just simply need to type out that request and make sure it is nice and clear for the user. So that might be organise a replacement. Once you're happy with your recall, you can then click the Save button, and then if you have sent it for another CRM user, an email notification will be sent out with your notes and a link to the record so they can quickly open that up and action it. Another way to record your interactions is to use the document templates available within the CRM. To send an email from this record using one of your email templates, you can click on the contact email address over here. This will then open the Send Email window. Within here, we can select a template to use. It looks like we've only got one set up at the moment, which is the customer complaint acknowledgement. So if we choose that particular template, it will then automatically populate the body of the email, and if you set one, the subject line as well. Once you're happy with your email, you can obviously make any amendments if you need to. You can then click on the Send button in the bottom right-hand corner. This will then send an email to the customer, and then if we refresh this particular record and scroll down, we'll then be able to see a copy of that particular email that was sent. And if you want to see the full version, you can open it, which is great for any other CRM users. They can see exactly what's been sent to the customer. To use one of your Word document templates, if we just go back to our problem record, you can use the quick add here and then choose to create a new document. This will then show you all of the document types that you could record on this problem record, such as uploading a photo. That could be particularly helpful if you have engineers out on site that use a CRM and they need to take photos of the particular damaged good or any issues that they encounter when they're out on the road. To use a document template though, we are just going to use the template option. From here, we can then choose a template from the drop-down, and we've only got one set up for problem level, which is the customer inquiry. So if you choose that particular one, it will then give you a preview of the document. Looks like this one's actually blank, but if yours is all populated, then it will give you a preview of it to make sure you are using the right one. Once you are happy with your choice, if you just click Create, the document will then be populated using the information from the problem record. And then from here, you can either choose to open the document in Word, and your changes will then be saved to the copy stored within the CRM, or you can choose to download a copy of it, which then will be stored locally, so any changes you do make to that will not be saved back to the copy that's been stored in the CRM. So finally, as the problem progresses through your customer service process, you can obviously update the status of the problem record within the pipeline. For example, we may need to change the status from information requested straight through to organising delivery of the replacement part, because we've obviously sent a recall to someone to sort that out. So that is what stage it is at within the pipeline. So if I choose that particular status from the drop down, you'll notice along the top it will then move through to that particular status, so it is clear to everyone who uses the CRM exactly what stage this problem is at. So now that we've taken a look at creating a problem record and using this to manage your customer issue, let's take a quick look at the standard reports available. If you expand out the side panel here, you'll then be able to view all the different report groups within the CRM. For this particular topic, we probably would go for the service report group. Within here, we have a few reports to help you get you started. A particularly useful report that I find is the new problems report, which shows all problems that have been created in the last 7 days. You could change this, so if you wanted to take a look at maybe all problems that were created in the last 10 days, then you can do so. If that is a filter that you wish for this report to have every time you open it, then you'll just need to make sure you save your changes. Another useful report is the open problems by status. This report shows all problems in an open status and groups them by this status. So for example, we have 4 problems in a status of an acknowledgement sent, and then we've also then got 10 problems in awaiting action. And if I expand this out, I'll be able to see exactly what those problems are and open them up from this report. You can also view their priority average, so you can see how business critical these issues are. This report is particularly helpful when identifying your potential bottlenecks. So you've got quite a lot in awaiting action, so you might want then to focus your team's efforts on this particular stage to kind of get a few more out of these and progress through the pipeline. If none of these reports are providing you with the information you need, then you can always just create your own reports by clicking the Add Report button. Okay, so now that we've seen the problem records in action, let's head back to our slides and take a look at our hints and tips from today's webinar. So first off, I would recommend using the problem types to help categorize your issues. You can then filter your reports using these types, so it's really helpful if you can get those right, because that is going to help you at the end of the day when running your reports for analysis. Also, use the summary field for an overview. That is really useful to have, especially if the CRM user doesn't want to have to read through the whole activity. So if it's been going on for quite a while and lots of notes have been added, it's always helpful just to have a quick look at the summary to get an overview of exactly where we are with it at the moment. Also, use a report builder for custom reports. That is a really useful tool, the report builder. Not all of our reports are going to be right for every single customer, so you can just create your own if needs be, or edit the existing ones that are already there. Remember, you can have multiple pipelines, so if you do have different customer service items that you wish to use problems for, that is absolutely fine. Just set up multiple pipelines for each of those different processes. Also, type in the drop-down option. So you saw that I typed in the drop-down option of type, and then I was able to quickly navigate to the delivery problem type. Again, really helpful if you do have a long list of options within a drop-down. It just helps you navigate to the one that you need quickly. And then finally, remember to set a priority on your problem tickets as well. Very helpful if you are working off a pool of tickets, so you then know which one to deal with first. So for further assistance with features that we've seen and taken a look at within our demonstration, we have some useful channels for you to try. First of all, we have our YouTube channel, which includes easy to follow videos on various aspects of the CRM, which can be found by searching for Prospect the Stock Aware CRM. Next, we have the Prospect Academy, which allows you to learn at your own pace with our articles and videos covering the fundamentals of the solution and more complex functionality. You can always give us a call on our main line or chat with us via our online chat. We also have our services portal where you can log a ticket or query as well. Finally, we then have our ideas portal where you can log any enhancement requests or product suggestions and also track their progress. You can search for other ideas and view their comments from our developers working on them. Please note that the ideas with the most votes will be prioritised within the product roadmap, so make sure you vote on your favourite ideas. So thank you for everyone for attending today's webinar, and I hope to see you at our next one, which is on Wednesday the 18th of September, focusing on managing and controlling delivery charges. I hope you all have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you.